Have you ever finished a meal and instinctively reached for a toothpick without thinking twice about it? Most of us do. It's a tiny, ordinary object we use and forget. But what if I told you this simple tool is one of the oldest inventions in human history, used by everyone from Neanderthals to Egyptian pharaohs? Before toothpaste, before dental floss, even before soap, ancient people had already solved a big problem: how to clean their teeth. The answer? The humble toothpick. And here's the twist: toothpicks weren't just about dental hygiene. In some civilizations, they were made of gold and displayed like precious jewelry. In others, they were thought to protect against bad luck or even evil spirits. So why did people thousands of years ago care so much about their teeth? And what can we learn from them today? Stay with me till the end, because there's a fact about ancient toothpicks that will change the way you see dental care forever. Before we dig into the history, tell me in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you've ever used to pick your teeth? Long before cities or civilizations, humans faced a problem we all know too well: bits of food getting stuck between their teeth. Imagine living in the Stone Age, eating tough meat or hard seeds, and suddenly something is wedged in your molar. With no toothpaste, no dental floss, and no dentist for thousands of miles or years, what could you do? It turns out, our ancient ancestors were surprisingly inventive. Scientists have discovered fossilized human skulls that are tens of thousands of years old. And when they look closely, they find tiny, unnatural grooves carved between the teeth. These grooves are clear evidence. Even prehistoric people used tools to pick their teeth clean. Who were these early dental pioneers? Some of the oldest toothpick marks have been found on the remains of Neanderthals, our distant cousins who roamed Europe and Asia long before written history. But it wasn't just them. Evidence from Africa, Asia, and the Americas shows that humans everywhere found a solution in nature: twigs snapped from bushes, animal bones left over from dinner, even porcupine spines or sharpened fish bones. Just picture it: a campfire at dusk, an ancient family finishing their meal. Someone picks up a small stick, pokes it gently between their teeth, and feels the relief of a clean mouth. It's such a simple act, but it's been repeated for tens of thousands of years, across continents and cultures. So while the toothpick in your kitchen might seem ordinary, it's actually part of a story that began before history itself. From simple sticks in the Stone Age to golden toothpicks at royal feasts, this tool connects us to everyone who ever cared about a healthy smile. By the time humanity entered the Bronze Age, around 2000 BC, toothpicks had transformed from simple twigs and bones into true works of art. As civilizations flourished in places like Mesopotamia, Egypt, and ancient China, daily life grew more sophisticated. This included even the smallest details, like the humble toothpick. No longer just a tool of survival, the toothpick became a sign of refinement and status. In wealthy families and royal courts, toothpicks were crafted from precious materials: gold, silver, ivory, and even jade. These weren't just for cleaning teeth. They were objects to be admired and even shown off at feasts and gatherings. In ancient Mesopotamia, elegantly carved ivory toothpicks have been found in tombs, sometimes alongside jewelry and ceremonial weapons. In Egypt, golden toothpicks were buried with pharaohs, meant to serve them in the afterlife. Some Chinese nobility carried intricately shaped jade picks as part of their personal grooming kits. For ordinary people, toothpicks were still made from wood, reeds, or animal bones. But even these could be carefully smoothed and decorated. In some cultures, toothpicks were given as gifts or tokens of friendship. This era also brought new ideas about dental hygiene. Ancient texts from Mesopotamia and Egypt describe mouth rinses, scented oils, and the use of toothpicks to maintain fresh breath and a pleasing smile. Some toothpicks were even soaked in herbs or oils, blending cleaning with a touch of ancient flavor. By 2000 BC, the toothpick was no longer a mere stick. It was a reflection of society's creativity and attention to detail. Whether made of gold or wood, it played a small but fascinating part in the story of civilization. Toothpicks may seem simple, but they traveled the world in fascinating ways. In ancient Rome, toothpicks made from silver or fragrant wood were signs of high society, sometimes even dipped in spices for fresh breath after grand feasts. Meanwhile, in China and Japan, toothpicks became part of daily table rituals. crafted from bamboo and often decorated with tiny carvings or painted tips. In South America, native peoples shaped toothpicks from local hardwoods, sometimes believing they offered protection against evil spirits or illness. In Africa, tribes used pointed reeds or thorns, linking dental care with spiritual cleansing. No matter where you look in history, every culture seems to have created its own version of the toothpick, adapting materials, shapes, and traditions to suit their needs and beliefs. The story of the toothpick isn't just about teeth, it's a window into how people everywhere lived, ate, and even thought about luck and health. Toothpicks weren't just for keeping teeth clean. Across history, they played roles in medicine, magic, and even beauty. In ancient Rome, some toothpicks were soaked in herbal oils to freshen breath or even ease a toothache. Egyptian priests believed certain toothpicks carved from sacred woods could protect them from curses and evil spirits. Some cultures used toothpicks in ceremonies, offering them to the gods or using them in fortune-telling rituals. In China, delicate toothpicks carved from jade or ivory were gifted to newlyweds, symbolizing good health and happiness. Even in medieval Europe, royals believed gold toothpicks could ward off disease or bring good luck. So next time you pick up a simple toothpick, remember, for thousands of years, people saw these tiny tools as magical charms, health aids, and symbols of status, much more than just a way to clean your teeth. The toothpick's journey didn't end in ancient times. It kept evolving right into our kitchens today. After thousands of years of sticks, bones, and gold, toothpicks slowly became simpler and more widely available. By the Middle Ages, woodworkers in Europe were making toothpicks from fruit trees, and people started carrying their own little cases everywhere. In the 19th century, machines made mass production possible. Suddenly, wooden toothpicks became cheap, disposable, and popular around the world. Companies even advertised them as modern hygiene for every home. Today we find toothpicks in restaurants, lunchboxes, and even as cocktail decorations. But the idea hasn't really changed. That small, pointed stick you grab after dinner is a direct descendant of the ancient tools our ancestors made thousands of years ago. The toothpick's shape may have evolved, but its purpose and its story remains almost exactly the same. You might be surprised by how many ancient toothpicks have survived, sometimes for thousands of years. Archaeologists have uncovered beautifully preserved gold, silver, and ivory toothpicks in ancient tombs, often buried with their owners as prized possessions. In China, some jade toothpicks found in royal graves were so perfectly crafted, they still look new today. Researchers have also discovered fossilized toothpicks made of bone or wood beside prehistoric skeletons. In some cases, the tiny grooves on ancient teeth matched exactly with nearby toothpicks, confirming their use. One of the oldest ever found was a sharpened stick buried with a Neanderthal more than 50,000 years ago. It's proof that even our distant ancestors cared about dental hygiene, and that a simple tool like a toothpick can connect us across thousands of years, telling the story of everyday life in the ancient world. It's amazing to realize how such a small, simple object connects us to people from every corner of the world, and across thousands of years. The toothpick, which many of us use without a second thought, was once a symbol of status, a tool for survival, and even a part of ancient rituals. From gold and jade in royal tombs to sharpened twigs beside Stone Age campfires, this tiny tool tells a much bigger story. Think about it. Every time you use a toothpick after a meal, you're sharing a daily habit with ancient Egyptians, Roman nobles, Chinese emperors, and Neanderthal families. The same desire for comfort, health, and dignity has driven people throughout history to create their own versions of the toothpick, each with its own unique twist. What makes this story truly special is how something so ordinary reflects the creativity, adaptability, and inventiveness of human beings. Our ancestors didn't just accept discomfort, they solved it, using whatever materials they had and adding their own sense of beauty and meaning. Whether it was a polished bone, a gilded gift, or a simple wooden stick, every toothpick tells us a little about the people who used it. So the next time you reach for a toothpick, remember, you're not just cleaning your teeth. You're taking part in a tradition that goes back over 50,000 years. Maybe your simple habit is more extraordinary than you ever realized. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen or used a toothpick that was unusual or fancy? Would you try using a golden toothpick if you could? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the small wonders of the ancient world, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with a friend who loves history or quirky facts. Your support helps us keep exploring the fascinating stories hidden in the most unexpected places. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next ancient adventure.